What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Demo Damoto. We're back with another video today. We're watching UnrealEntGaming Beyond Dragon Ball Super, the Dark Masters versus Universe 7. All out battle for survival intensifies. Yes, sir. Gauge. No, I'm just playing. I think we last left off on the androids pulling up and bust some heads, and Orange Piccolo pulled up, bust some heads, pause, and then yeah, we better get back into it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and Lego.
As our story now continues back over on Beerus's planet, with the Dark Masters now being shown having to confront our heroes face to face just moments before having to attack them, to which it was only moments just before anyone had decided to go on and make a move, with our heroes nervously having to approach the Dark Masters and addressing them, was when Goku then went on to quickly respond, "Oh, I don't like this, you guys, but we've got to go and make sure to go and hold our own out there against them and not give them an inch, no matter what they go and try to throw our way in the meantime, since they're here." Oh, well, just great, Beerus went on to then quickly chime in. "So that decrepit ruler of the underworld, Raijin, has finally had enough in wanting to go and take action here against us now, does he? Well, since he went and called for the two of you along with the rest of your filthy minions to go and try to do so," Beerus says, "then why doesn't he simply go and come out of the shadows in which he hides behind and enact these deeds of destruction against us here himself then?" With the Demon Dark Master Gira having to respond, "Decrepit, you say? And just who exactly are you calling to—" "Oh, that's right. For now, I remember, as it's been a few hours since you have all went and laid eyes on Lord Raijin, and so no. For while you may have went and remembered Lord Raijin and having to go and make his way down onto this world while he was in his elder state, we, on the other hand, can simply go and guarantee you all that Lord Raijin is certainly not the same as you had remember him being when he first came here," with the Dark Master Jogo having to then chime in, "That's right, and if you fools believe that he is anywhere near in being the exact same as he once was, then you don't hope to go and stand a chance when compared to what Lord Raijin has become now, and so one way or another, your end has now finally arrived, whether you want it to be the case or not, Universe 7, with Gohan then having to respond, "Oh, well, if those surrounding portals behind them are any indication of something, then all this means is that we'll have to go and fight them both head on right here, right now, because it certainly doesn't look as though they went and planned on coming onto Lord Beerus's planet here alone either, and so it's either we go and deal with them here and now, or they will simply go and continue to track us all down until they have went and cornered us," with Beerus then being shown having to crack his neck and approaching the Dark Masters from below by responding, "Well, since you are the ones who have been solely responsible for creating this entire mess by not only having to go and steal the Super Dragon Balls when you did, but in also having to go and plan this entire invasion ordeal out, along with having to go and resurrect that demon god Raijin of yours, then how's about you go and leave these mortals out of this for the time being and come down here and face me alone, because if you believe that I'm not going to go and pay you all back for disrupting the natural order and balance within my universe, then the two of you have another thing coming, and so now what do you say we go and settle this entire ordeal once and for all, and for good this time, demons?" But then, it was only just within that very moment, as both the Dark Masters Jogo and Gira were then shown having to stick their arms out and combining their energies for something, was when Jogo then went on to quickly respond, "Well, as a matter of fact, God of Destruction, we actually have other plans for you, as you may in fact actually end up proving and posing as being one of the more difficult factors in this upcoming battle, and so for the time being, we instead think that it would be best for you to go and simply sit this one out for us in the meantime," Gira responds, "since we instead have a little bone to go and pick with those mortal rodents around you for having them go and simply defy Lord Raijin's law, but worry not for the time being, Lord Beerus.
Okay.
We will go and make sure to save you for last once we are done ripping your allies apart down there into pieces," Gira utters, "and so now, go on and be a good little god of destruction and just stay right where you are." "No, is that so? And just what are you what is this for? I can't seem to be able to move my body, and so
what the fuck?
What is this? What did you rotten worms just go and do to my body?" As Goku then went on to respond, "Whoa, what the heck just happened to him? As it looks as though he's just frozen in place, but what is it?" With Vegeta Vegeta chiming in. It looks as though it's some kind of a paralyzing barrier, which they appear to be using both of their own power along with an outside means of energy to go and bind him in his current place. But the others weren't having it, because with both Broly and Gohan then shown having to transform and immediately using their strongest levels of power was when Gohan then went on to quickly respond, "Oh, hurry, because it's now or never then, Broly, and so now let's go and show these Dark Lords on what exactly we're made of and go and turn their lights off once and for all and for good this time." But then it was only shockingly enough from behind the Dark Masters as the elite demon Meki Myro went on to make his presence known in having to be shown firing multiple energy blasts down upon our heroes was when Gira went on to then quickly respond, "Oh, well, let's not go and try to get too far ahead of ourselves now, for we had went and made sure to come prepared just in case something like this were to go and happen, and so now, Meki Myro, as they are all yours for you to go and pick apart down there," to which as Broly was then shown making his way towards Meki Myro and tanking all of his blasts was when Goku then went on to quickly shout, "Oh, quickly, us two now, Vegeta, and so let's hurry. On my signal, we'll go and close in right behind Broly and rush right through and having to go after those Dark Masters," with Vegeta responding, "All right then, and so in the meantime, Gohan, we'll need for you to go and try to free Lord Beerus while me and Kakarot go and handle the other two." Foolish Saiyan, Meki Myro went on to then chime in, "Struggle all you want, for your resistance to my attacks will only take you so far here against me, since you won't be able to go and sustain and withstand many more of these if this goes on to continue." But then it was only from within this very moment as both Goku and Vegeta went on to transform and using Broly as a means of tanking all of Meki Myro's attacks and having to make their way right past him was when Goku then went on to shout, "Right there, and so now's our chance, so let's hurry as I'll go and take the hooded one to the left while you go and deal with Gira on the right, and so let's go," with Vegeta shouting, "Fine, but don't go and stand in my way in the meantime while I go and handle her then, Kakarot," with the Dark Master Gira then having to then respond, "Just as expected they would. Very well then, Saiyans, let us begin, but just do bear in mind the plan in the meantime while we go and fight these little worms, Jogo, because we cannot go and risk fumbling this against them while they are all already here." To which even then within these very moments as Goku and Vegeta were shown having to fight off against the Dark Masters as a full-powered Super Saiyan 3 Broly was shown having to attack Meki Myro was when Beast Gohan then went on to respond, "Just remember to go and try to stabilize yourself out there, as I will be right there to go and join you in this battle once I am done and having to go and try to help Lord Beerus break free, and so just give me a moment while I try to go and figure this out in the meantime, Broly. And so now just hang in there for just a moment as I'm going to try to break through that paralyzing barrier by using my own power in response to its energy output to go and try to free you," Gohan says, with Beerus having to then utter, "Wait, no, don't attempt to go and try it just yet, and so wait, damn Saiyan, watch out behind you." But then it was only from out of nowhere now behind Gohan as the elite demon Zoro went on to make his presence known by having to appear and wrapping himself around by having to grab hold and squeeze Gohan within his arms was when Zoro then went on to quickly respond, "Oh no you don't, Saiyan, for you aren't going to be helping anyone so as long as I am here to ensure that you don't, and so from here on you will be going and dealing with me in the meantime while you go and watch from the sidelines as your beloved friends and family are torn into pieces."
Not my nigga Gohan, come on.
Vegeta responds upon being shown fighting Gira, "What is the trick to how you were able to go and move like this and lead my attacks the way you are before I go and try to make them? As you are being fueled by something in response to each and every single one of my counterattacks now, aren't you?" With the Dark Master Gira responding, "Well, not bad, Saiyan, so maybe I am being given leverage in this battle here against you mortals by some kind of an outside means, but I guess the question now becomes on what exactly do you think you can possibly hope to do that will stop me from using it, Vegeta? For do you think that you can go and figure that out in time? Because I think that you and your little friends down there are all running on borrowed time, and deep down you know this to be true. And while your powers may be impressive to those who are blind to the truth of knowing what you along with your other mortal friends are capable of in battle. Gira went on to then duck on under by doing a split and avoiding Vegeta's attack. It was because we were able to go and study your battle against that fallen angel Murno that gave us the advantage in coming up with a plan that was effective enough in countering whatever you and your allies would go and try to throw our way. And so you can try as you'd like, but little do you know that it was thanks to your battle against Murno that we were able to go and learn everything about you. To which it was only within that very moment as Vegeta's body was shown having to fly right past the battle involving both Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku and Jogo was when Jogo went on to attack Goku by then questioning, "Honestly now, Saiyan, what makes you think that your battle here against us is going to be any different than how it was when we had first went and faced off against you in the Demon Realm before you went and managed to escape? As you and I both know that you are without any hopes of having to win, then so why don't you just go and give up and accept your fate here against us and knowing that you simply can't win?" With Goku responding, "Well, if you haven't already caught on by now, then I would much rather go and perish on my feet than ever live to go see the day where I would ever go and submit myself to the likes of you and your kind." "Well, I expected as much," Jogo responds upon Goku being shown having to miss one of his punches, "but since you appear to warrant some kind of a death wish while choosing to decline our willingness to allow for you to live under the rulership of the almighty Lord Raijin, then allow for Gira and I alongside the rest of our mighty demon army to go and see to it that you get exactly what you deserve, Son Goku." Yes, you see that? Now tell me, Saiyan Zaru questions, how does it feel to know that you are powerless to go and do anything to stop me and having to see your loved ones crumble around you one by, well, I don't know what exactly you want to go and take me for here, Gohan responds upon being shown elbowing Zaru in the stomach, "but I am in no mood in continuing to go and play these little games of yours, demon, for we have had enough of this, all of this," with Zaru responding, "Oh, so we have a feisty one over here now, don't we? Well, even though I didn't go and take you up as being some kind of a mere walk in the park here, mortal, however, don't go and get the wrong idea about our forces here from the demon realm either, Saiyan, because if you think that this is all that we here from the world beyond yours can muster in battle, then you should really stop and reconsider on what it is that you are truly going up against here, mortal. But since I absolutely love your never
absolutely
die
have
attitude,"
to.
Zaru continues upon being shown kicking Gohan away, "what do you say we go and put that to the test and seeing which one of us is truly the tougher fighter here between us, Saiyan?" As it was only within that very moment with Gohan's body being shown having to fly right past Beerus, who was still frozen in place, was when Beerus went on to then utter, "It's just great, for those demons are swatting those Saiyans down there like flies, and here I am just standing here like some kind of a statue, and just simply having to go and watch as they continue to go and spit directly in my face. Well, no more, for I am not to be treated with such disrespect and to stand to allow for you to escape me without having to answer with retaliation. As I have had enough in having you try and walk all over me whilst forgetting as to who I am along with the title that I hold. You rotten and miserable little creatures go and try to freeze me in place and expect for me not to answer back now, do you? Well, I'll show you. I'll go and show all of you on why I am not to be messed with like this," Beerus continues. "As I have went and seen all that I can possibly go to hope and stand to endure from these demons for one day, and so if this was what you have wanted, then allow for me to gladly go and," but then it was only shockingly enough now from behind Beerus as a gigantic arm was then shown having to reach on out through a portal and grabbing Beerus in place was when Beerus went on to then utter, "Damn it all, what now? And just where in the world did this just come from?" I hope that you come to understand that just because you've went and increased both your size along with your power doesn't automatically mean that I am at a disadvantage against you. For the very power that was given onto us by our great leader goes far beyond what your mere mortal mind can understand, and with the essence of the demon realm itself having to fuel my energy, I can simply go and continue to fight you like this for days days on end without running out of power, whereas you rely solely on your driven nature, which is limited by your ability to carry, because unlike creatures like you, we here in the demon realm were created for this exact purpose, which is ultimately why you have no chance at beating me, Mekimaro continues.
Shit.
Now just watch as I go and set the example by showing you on exactly why you are powerful yet powerless in doing anything to change that, Mekimaro continues. For my energy cannons along with my blitz waves will be shown to be more than enough to rip right through your flesh and tearing you apart before you can wait. What? Your body was able to go and hold out, a surprised Mekimaro shouts. Even here against my rapid fire blitz wave attack with hardly any damage that is shown on you, but how could that be possible? For why are you shown in having to be weakened like how I was shown having to weaken you on that desert homeworld planet of yours before? Oh, why you? So it looks as though you aren't just a mere cave-dwelling pushover after all, Saiyan. But don't go and get too cocky, for my metal isn't just something that you can find yourself in having to punch your way right out of so easily, mortal. But then, it was only within these very moments now from out of nowhere behind Mekimaro, as the elite demon Garlock went on to make his presence known in having to further prevent Mekimaro in flying outwards, was when Garlock went on to address Mekimaro by responding, "Easy now, Mekimaro, for you are allowing for your frustrations in wanting to shred this animal to sway your actions and cloud your judgment during this battle, and as you shouldn't go and allow for this abnormal creature's durability to hinder on your focus," Garlock says, "for he is made of both flesh and bone, while you are comprised of the strongest known metals in the entire universe, and so now hold your position and remember your purpose here, demon, as these very animals are but an annoying yet very simple enemy to overcome, for they are both predictable and driven by their impulse and blind determination, which will lead to their downfall, and as they lash out in reckless outbursts of strength and believing that their own power can carry them to victory, that will be where you will need to go and strike when they are at their weakest mentally," Garlock continues, "and so now let them go and scream and burn right through their strength and exhausting every pitiful ounce of power that they possess, because it is simply going to be the one and only thing that these creatures can go and cling on to, whereas we are creatures of calculated ruin and guided by the eternal power of the demon realm's very essence itself. And as long as that very darkness continues to go and flow through us, there is nothing that they can go and do to try and escape their judgments, whether they want to go and choose to continue to stand against us or not. And so now hold your position and
hold your
prepare to fire on my command. For every strike must carry intention, and every blast must tear through their defenses, enforcing their bodies to crumble under the weight of their own failure. So while I continue to hereby go and make them feel that very weight as a result of their own miscalculations,
you trying to make them feel
I want you to go and watch as I go and show you on what I mean by using this brute's very own attacks and turning it against his allies. And as they are not without their own flaws and being widespread and exposed for all those who stand against them to go and see, Garlock continues, and to go and use their own power against them is what will also be the key in witnessing their downfall upon our quest to do what must be done, Mekimaro, Garlock continues. And since their very power is limited, whereas ours is not, remember your focus and not giving them any room to breathe, Mekimaro. And so now what do you say you go and keep that brute at bay and continue to punish him by blasting him into submission, while I, on the other hand, go and take care of our little friend over there in the meantime. Show no mercy and do not relinquish your attacks until he is no longer able to stand, with the demon Mekimaro responding, "With pleasure, as this one here is going to be mine to destroy, and my alone, while I go and offer you his ally within his place." "Good, very good," Garlock responds upon having to be shown using one of his energy whips and wrapping it around Gohan's neck, and so now tell me,
Damn.
puny Saiyan, did you truly go on to believe that Mechimyro here would go and come into this battle alone? Because while I
choking on my nigga
continue to
Gohan.
choke the life out of you by using my darkness binding lash, I can go as far as to assure you here and now that he wouldn't have been coming here alone, Saiyan. And so for every second that your resistance continues, so too does your suffering, Garlock adds. So the longer you refuse to bow your head and submit yourselves to Lord Raijan's law, the deeper your agony will run. For do you really think that your friends over here are going to come and save you? For do you really think that your allies stand any hope of turning the tides here against us, Saiyan? Because I want for you to go and take a closer look around you, for they won't, and that's because they can't. And as every clash along with every futile attempt to resist us only serves to further your punishment, as your suffering will be what will feed us. For the multiverse will remember this day here between us, but not as a day of victory on your behalf, but as the hour when the last flames of resistance were extinguished. And as you are no savior of the multiverse, but rather simply just the latest fool to go and try to stand before the unrelenting might of Lord Raijan's law, and just like those who have long came before you to oppose his governance, you too will be crushed as a result of your insolence against him. Little by little, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, one by one we will cripple and devour you all until there is utterly and absolutely nothing more that remains. So now go and continue to fight and resist if you must. Let your beast scream in defiance, for it will only prolong the inevitable, because no matter how fiercely you struggle here against us, Garlock says, and no matter how intensely you attempt to battle in gaining control, you will never overcome what stands before you, for the power of the demon realm is not something that can be resisted, but instead it is rather something that solely consumes. To which, moreover, when then having to go back to the demon Leviathan and seeing as to how he was beginning to squeeze Lord Beerus within his vice grip, was when the demon Leviathan then went on to utter, I am going to go on and crush you into an oblivion in the name of our venerable ruler and supreme god king Lord Raijan, with Beerus then having to quickly respond, alright, now that does it, for I have had enough of this, all of this, along with all of you. Each and every single one of you have done enough in crossing that line, and so now I will begin to show you the true power that lies deep within a god of destruction, a power in which you cannot possibly go on to hope to rival, and the power that will be what ultimately decides your fate. For I have had enough of you demons, and it's time to go and settle the score here between us. As you and your kind have done enough in getting in my way for one day, and since you are willing to go and perish in the name of having to submit yourselves to your ruler Raijan, then let this now go and be the price that you will have to go and pay for ever daring to go and challenge my authority, Ultra Instinct Beerus then went on to quickly respond. And then so you are to go and know your place among the hierarchy of the gods, for this will be the price that you will have to pay for your rebellion. Hakai, Beerus shouts, to which it was only within these very moments as the giant Leviathan was attempting to strike Beerus as he was now beginning to fade within the wind, was when Beerus then went on to quickly observe this by responding, good, now feel the wrath of a god as you slowly disappear and fade into the wind like the animal that you are. Foolish beasts, for this is what you get. But I can now start to slowly see on how you creatures are beginning to operate, Beerus continues, and it's because of having you plunge the multiverse into darkness the way you did by webbing each universe together with the demon realm, was exactly how you were able to go and remain in the positions of power that you currently are, as it is starting to become more and more evident based on the way I am watching those Saiyans fight out there that they won't be able to last much longer out there if this continues. And it's not because they are weaker or simply lack the power to go and destroy those dark masters and demons all on their own, Beerus continues, but it's simply due to the fact that those demons are definitely feeding off something, for I should have expected such things, Beerus continues, as the dark masters aren't just fighters in this regard, but they're manipulators of magic and playing this battle like a game in bending the rules to suit them within their favor, because why why go and rely on your own strength when you can simply go and leech from an entirely different dimension of cursed energy to go and try to stay ahead, Beerus says. And so I doubt that they don't already know this as well, given the fight that they are currently in, which is why I believe that I may in fact know of a way on how to close this gap between us here while we still have the chance. However, Beerus continues, the fools seem to be too stubborn for their own good to see it, for they are trying to go and fight these demons head on and having to assume by thinking that brute strength is the only answer when it is not, at least not for the time being, especially when our enemies have an infinite source of power in backing them. And so the longer this battle drags on, the stronger these monsters will ultimately become, and for every moment they stall, that bottomless energy will just continue to go and fuel them, which is why we must go and hurry and change our approach to this battle before they go and find a way to run us all down in the meantime. To which, as Goku was then shown having to address Vegeta back to back, was when Goku then went on to respond, "Oh darn it, Vegeta, this isn't working because no matter how many times we go and try to knock them down, they somehow go and find a way to stand back up as if nothing even happened. And what's more," Goku continues, "is the fact that they also seem to be feeding off something as well. And so now because of this, it doesn't seem as though we are losing because they are stronger than us," Goku continues.
Nah, y'all
so
just
we
losing
only
because y'all
appear to be
losing.
losing because they've got an endless supply of power that's backing them up, and so we've got to go and come up with another plan and fast. Otherwise, they'll simply go and wear us all down if this keeps going. But if we can go and figure out on how to disrupt the flow of order and block the path that they are siphoning energy through, Goku says, then we won't just be able to go and find a way to weaken them, but we can go as far as to beat them as well. And so I know that we can do this, with Vegeta responding, "Damn these demons. You don't think I see it too, Kakarot? For they are nothing more than parasites leeching off of the demon realm itself and using its essence and energy to fuel themselves during our battle. But I think I may know of a way on how to cut that connection between them in order for it to give us a fighting chance in beating these demons. But severing that link isn't going to be easy, which is why I will need for you to go and listen to me, and listen to me very closely, as we will only go and have one chance at trying this, because if we are to fail," Vegeta continues, "then we can simply go and kiss our chances at defeating them goodbye. And so even though they may have the numbers advantage along with the direct line to the demon realm for now, I may know of a way on how to go and change that, but you'll have to go and try to buy me some time in order to ensure that this works within our favor," as it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the
Okay, so the Dark Masters out here, they pretty much just cheating low key, so we gonna have to take care of that somehow. I don't know how, but yeah. Shout out to UnrealEntGaming for this video. Fire chapter as always, man. Make sure you check out the last chapter right here. Check out another video right here, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.